Right.
There we are.
Okay.
Are we meeting up there, Keith, about 12 or what?
Yeah, as soon as we've done here, we'll get up there. I'd go into the room, John, once you're there, because
Do I need a ticket?
well, yes, you might do, I suppose.
Well, if we get there first, we'll wait for you.
Yeah, all right. I'll wait. One of us will.
And if you get there first, we'll look at you through the window.
We'll wait for you. So, yeah, Colin's just coming on.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me about High Noon, Dave. It's funny what you forget after all these years. You should stand outside there drinking a bottle of woodpecker cider from beer off. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a Saturday night out for you.
Oh, what? And then when you finally got inside, shut up. We finally got inside when I was 18. They used to have a singers' night, which I didn't take part in, by the way.
Well, it was for singers.
Exactly, yeah, twonk. We've even got Jenny laughing at it, isn't it? But the piano hadn't been tuned. Neither had the one at Noah's Ark. God, yeah.
The pub where I had my first drink is now an Indian restaurant. The Old Arrow.
Old Arrow. Yeah.
I mean,
I bet you didn't call it the Old Harrow in those days.
No, Old Arrow.
Old Arrow.
Yeah.
Christine and the Jazz Makers.
Oh, that's right. It was possibly the first pub in Sheffield that had music every week. It had jazz night on a Sunday. And,
yeah, landlord with Joe Ledger.
Right. I knew the landlord because I played football for the Old Harrow as well.
The
Old
Harrowians.
And I always remember we had my 18th birthday party in the Old Harrow. And so we were, I mean, bear in mind that we've been going in for at least 12 months prior to that. So the landlord said to me, what's the event? So I said, oh, it's my birthday. He says, oh, how old are you? I went 18. And he just shook his head. Bloody hell. But I mean, being so tall, I got away with it. I think I was 15 when I first went in.
It was quite unique, actually, because it was modern jazz. They played modern jazz, you know, and any live music in those days was quite original.
It was. And then it became the first disco pub in Sheffield. If you remember, it had the fluorescent lights that made your teeth look as if you got purple teeth.
Yeah, and showed you dandruff.
It showed you dandruff, yeah.
Luminous dandruff.
Oh, the glamour.
It was pretty good on paper collars as well.
Yeah. But it was, we had some great nights in the Old Harrow. It was fabulous, really.
We're not going out.
I always remember when Yellow Submarine was in the charts, and because there was a jukebox in, every time that went on, the whole pub started singing, or the whole room. So it was daft things you remember.
Aye, Jim McKellyhog and David Ford.
Aye.
I mean, if you look behind me, you'll see Harrow on the Hill. Of course, and Harrow on the Hill is just behind me there.
Oh,
Wow, crikey!
I remember stopping there on a school trip in 1960. Yeah.
Really? On a good day, if you go on to Harrow on the Hill, you can actually see Guildford Cathedral, which is about 35 miles away. But it needs to be very, very clear.
It's like a very short documentary, this, isn't it? Yeah.
I won't extend it, John, because it might be boring. Yeah. I shall retire to my sofa.
Right, Dave, shall we continue with the news of the week?
Right,
Looks
on to
like
local sport, nearing
an
the end.
interesting picture you've got behind him, though, Jonathan.
Yes,
Football?
guess what the picture is.
Cricket.
Gentlemen
Yeah.
versus
Right.
players.
No,
The final test.
no,
View from the boundary.
no.
The
I don't know whether
opening-
you can see.
It's
That one
Lords.
that's up in Lords, isn't it?
No,
No, it's not. No.
the picture hangs in the long room at Lords, but it's
That's
not
what
at Lords.
Yeah.
It's the St Lawrence Ground at Canterbury.
Ah,
Kent versus Lancashire in 1906, and that's Colin Blythe coming into bowl from the pavilion end against Tilsley, the Lancashire batsman, and yes,
And shit out.
that the Blythe that was captain of England.
no, not Blythe, Colin Blythe,
Oh,
who
Blythe.
was-
Sorry.
Blythe,
Sorry.
slow left arm
He was on the
bowler who
bounty.
killed in
Yeah, the
power
bounty was
play.
captain of the bounty. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not him.
Spotted ball.
No, the great Colin Blythe, great left arm.
Christian.
You've lost it, Jonathan. You've lost the group now. They've gone. They've gone.
What, talking about Colin Blythe? Oh.
Yeah, no, they've gone on to meet you on the bounty. It's
Yeah.
just,
Oh, yes, all that sort of
it's
nonsense.
disintegrating before your very eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying so hard to.
I know. The effort was
Normal
appreciated.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll go in the loft. I'll get one of mine out for next week. I'll go in the loft.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right, Dave, we'll try again.
Yeah, sorry about that, Dave. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yes.
You've got to have some stamina to do the news.
Oh, Lord.
Local sport and football. A last-minute goal, making it 2-1, gave Millwall all 3 points at the lane in midweek. But the Blades bounced back at Barnsley in sort of fashion with a 3-2 win, as they were 3-0 up at one stage. I was on my way to see my son at hospital, and I think my wife was sending me details of the score, and I nearly ended up in ICU. Blood pressure. Oh dear. Anyway, they won, so it eventually calmed down. Barnsley, meanwhile, lost 2-0 at Middlesbrough in midweek and are struggling at the bottom of the table. In Division 1, Wednesday had to settle for 2 draws, 1-1 at Cambridge in midweek, and then 1-1 at home to my second team, Lincoln. Yeah. Sorry, John.
It's all right. You were so excited, Lincoln fans, they rioted after the game. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah, they were a lot of trouble after the game.
Well,
Yeah, there's
Did they
about
cheer-
3,000 of them.
Did they cheer like that 0-0 draw at Bramall Lane when the Wednesday fans celebrated that they'd got a 0-0 draw?
That
Was
was
it
a
simple?
brilliant 0-0, that, mate.
A brilliant 0-0 that was.
Yeah,
Ian.
yeah.
Yes, I remember it
Can't
well.
lie awake dreaming of that. Well, you can't lie awake dreaming, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, brilliant.
Wednesday equalised with 10 minutes to go at Cambridge, while Lincoln equalised at Hillsborough with 10 minutes to go.
The fickle finger.
Robin drew 0-0 at home to Wickham, but followed it up at the weekend with an excellent 3-0 win at MK Dons, who had won at Wigan previously in the midweek.
It's-
Doncaster lost at Gillingham 1-0, but then beat Cheltenham 3-2, and like the Blades, did their best to throw away a 3-goal lead. I'll leave
You'd have just stood up there, Dave. Could I just say with Keith especially, what happened to the old adage about they can't score if the ball's in the other half?
I,
You got to have a midfield to do that.
Is that too simple, that, Chris?
Yeah.
yeah, it's, they
Yeah.
they don't play to normal rules.
Can you have a word with them then next time?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
mention it. I'll mention it to Slav. I'm sure he'll understand.
I can't understand a word that guy says, and I'm trying so hard. I haven't got it yet. I keep listening to him. I haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah.
Chris, shall
Yes.
I leave the Chesterfield game to you?
You can leave the Chesterfield game to me. Yes. Your roving reporter.
Right. I'll just finish and then you can. I'll let you.
Okay.
I'll let you win.
Yeah.
Seems to be favourite for the Cardiff City job after Mick McCarthy was sacked following Cardiff's 8th consecutive defeat. Rugby League, and we haven't got Ian here. Sheffield League. There we go. Has added 3 new faces to his 2022 squad. Mikey Wood, Martin Riley and Liam Kirk. Rugby Union, Sheffield Tigers beat Blaydon by 34 points to 12, moving up to 10th in the National League 2 North table. Athletics, promising middle distance runner Emma Shipley, who represents Hallamshire Harriers, has been selected for a development programme with England Athletics. Ice hockey, Steelers went to Nottingham in the Challenge Cup to face the Panthers. Leading 2-1 going into the final period, the Steelers managed to lose a goal to make it 2 apiece and then went on to lose in the last minute of sudden death. The Panthers winning 3-2. Back to the league on Sunday, so the Steelers faced the 5 Flyers and they won 5-2 and remain top of the Ice Hockey League. Basketball, Sheffield Sharks lost to Manchester Giants 89-77 on Tuesday last week in the BBL Cup. That on Sunday rounded off the group stage with a home victory over Glasgow Rocks, 86 points to 73. The Sharks finished 4th in their group and will now face either Leicester Riders or London Lions away in the quarterfinals. Women's basketball, Sheffield Hatters travelled to Nottingham to face the Nottingham Wildcats and came away with an 81-57 win to remain unbeaten at the top of the league with the London Lions. And finally, we forgot to sing happy birthday. 164th birthday on Sunday for Sheffield FC.
Let's see.
Wow.
I thought you were celebrating Ian's birthday early.
They celebrated with 2-1 home win over Dunstan on Saturday when they charged 18.57 prices to supporters, 1 penny. And that ended the story for this week.
Well, thank you.
Well done.
I wonder, do we know how many people turned up for the 1 penny fee?
I went past the ground. There were a lot of cars outside. It was
Right.
busy. It was busy.
Right.
Good for them.
Suppose what
Can
would
you afford to go in?
Couldn't find anywhere to park.
yeah. I know when United played there a couple of seasons back, and it was really, parking was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Were you at the game, Keith, at Bramall Lane when they celebrated their 150th?
Yeah.
When they played.
What do you mean when they played Inter Milan?
Inter Milan, yeah, that was a fantastic night. That brilliant night. Pele was there, John's friend.
Yeah. Hello, Peter. We've got.
Dave,
Morning.
Dave the Beard was trying to get in. He's been hogging it all morning, but he wanted.
Morning. Sorry I'm late, but I couldn't resist the chance to get on and gloat.
It's all right.
We've already had that. Yeah.
Oh, dear, man.
We thought that you might be. Right. What we will now do is move on to our roving reporter, Chris.
Right.
To tell us about his escapades at Chesterfield, along with.
Before I start, will Ian cut me off halfway through this reporting job like he did last time.
Yes.
Thank you, Ian. Right. So ready to
Dave the
cut me
Beard
off.
wanted to say
No,
something. Sorry,
Go for
Chris.
it. No,
Dave-
no, you go for it. Cut me
Dave-
off now.
Dave the Beard wanted to say something. He's had his hand up twice.
It's okay.
Sorry. No, go on, Dave.
No, it's okay now. Don't worry. Carry on, Chris. Sorry.
All right. Okay.
Go to our
all right.
house.
Roving reporter, football, non-league, proper stuff. I went to a non-league game, the National League game at Chesterfield on. Yeah, there's a program. Oh, sorry, that's not the program. That's the program. On Saturday at the Technique Stadium. I went as a guest of Will Evans, who has been on our Zoom calls. He was then playing for Chesterfield, but he did transfer in the close season to my second team now, Boreham Wood, the Wood. And the Wood, with Will as centre half, have had a fantastic start to the season. Started the game in second place in the league with the best defensive record in the National League. Well, with Chesterfield third, this was a real top of the table match. There were over 5,000 fans in the stadium. That's a pretty big crowd for a National League. The Tannoy announcer said what the crowd was. It was 5,000 something. And he said, and we welcomed the 52 from the Wood. And behind the goal was one busload, which was 52 people, which is a 280-mile trip. And to those lads and women behind the goal, that's a pretty good effort. I went with Christine, and therefore I said there was 54 of us there. Both teams had only got one defeat before this game, and Boreham Wood had conceded the fewest goals. Well, the first half belonged to Chesterfield. They went 2 up. They got a penalty when the former Boreham Wood centre forward, now playing for Chesterfield, Kabongo Tishmanga.
Good effort.
I have been practicing that so much.
There's only one.
In fact,
Kabongo
I'm going to say it again. Kabanga Tishmanga. He also scored a very good goal. So there were 2 up at half time and looking pretty bleak for the Wood. Will Evans at centre half, I took that picture, was obviously marking Kabanga along with the other forwards. And it was a very tough first half. Anyway, second half came. Will actually led brilliantly from the back. He led a very strong revival by the Wood. And on 67 minutes, he came forward a la Maguire and hit a ball from 35 yards minimum into the roof of the Chesterfield net. And that was quite some shot. He did not celebrate. He just turned round, walked back to the halfway line. It was an absolutely amazing goal. Christine and I jumped up and cheered and nearly got thrown out of the stand. Then there was a big incident involving Will again, where he headed the ball back to his keeper, who was stood too near to him, had to scramble back to stop an own goal and injured himself doing it. He was then injured, obviously, for the rest of the game, and the Boreham Wood team had to shepherd him and not pass back to him. It was very difficult. Boreham Wood, very small squad, no reserve goalkeeper. In the last minute, with Chesterfield winning 2-1, again, an incident involving Will. He came forward to head the ball as forcefully as he could into the Chesterfield half, but by doing so, took out one of the Chesterfield players and was booked for the second time in the game and was given his marching orders.
Oh dear.
So in the second minute of injury time, losing 2-1, Will, who had been given the honour of leading the teams on as a former captain of Chesterfield, was actually the first person then to leave the pitch. You couldn't write this. Chesterfield just about deserved to win it on the first half performance. They went second. Boreham Wood have gone third, but they're both within touching distance of Grimsby, who are at the top of the National League. We met up with Will in the very cold car park at the end of the game, And I just want to say to you guys, when you stood there with a guy that's been playing, he's very disappointed, obviously. But people came up to him, the gateman, the car park attendant, some directors of Chesterfield, supporters, ex-players, former players. They all came up to him and just spoke to him so appreciatively of him as a man, as a player.
Did
And
he
he's
owe them
helped.
money?
Well, they didn't ask for it in front of me.
Oh, right.
But after 3 seasons of leading Chesterfield, he does command a lot of respect there. The next match is tonight for Boreham Wood, minus Will, of course, minus the goalkeeper who is injured. They play a team near the bottom of the table, Kings Lynn. It will be interesting to see how they react to what could become a very difficult game for them. So that's the end of the roving report. It was a thoroughly incident-packed afternoon. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it. It was a brilliant game.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
And we got the full recording.
Yeah. And
You can edit all that out now, Ian.
Yeah, I'll edit it out.
Thank you.
so I can give you a little bit of a roving report about our trip to Barnsley.
No.
In that, let me show. I'll show you this picture. This picture was just outside the ground, and it was someone. Oops. I don't know if you can see it. That's someone hanging there washing out.
On the Siegfried line.
On the Siegfried line. I didn't know to say that.
Unbelievable. And that was right opposite the ground. So we thought this could only happen in Barnsley. It was a good day. Let me ask Trevor a question if I can. Trevor?
Yes, certainly.
Have you ever run the line at Barnsley?
Yes, and refereed in the Central League when there was such a competition.
Them at the Central League. Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. Aye. So what was it like running the line at Barnsley?
Interesting. I think at that time they still had the coal mines open. So you got quite a bit of language, and one or two people up and down, actually criticising my decisions, which I found. Especially down by the wooden stand there.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think they've now condemned, haven't they?
They have, yes.
They'd have done that about 30 years ago.
Yeah. Aye. So,
this group doesn't know how to live. Trips to Chesterfield and Barnsley.
Hey, Chesterfield Stadium is far better than most clubs, probably as high as the First Division.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
Saltergate wasn't. Saltergate definitely wasn't.
No, Saltergate definitely wasn't. No. Yeah, that Saltergate was used in the film The Damned United.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
As the baseball ground.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't find anywhere quite as bad as the baseball ground.
They didn't have to do anything with the pitch at all.
They sprayed the ground. For the film, they sprayed it with brown paint, whatever, to make it look like the baseball ground. There's a tremendous backstory to that. Anyway, I'll shut up.
No, go on. What's the backstory?
Well, they couldn't find a ground that configured like the baseball ground. So they paid Chesterfield to hire Saltergate as was, and they had to then dress it as Derby County's ground, including making it look more dilapidated than it was. And that meant spraying the green grass with a brown liquid to make it look like the baseball ground. And when you see it on film, in that marvelous film, which I love watching, it does look like the baseball ground.
It does.
Utterly crap.
Yeah.
That's probably what they sprayed it with.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
If I can ask Trevor, where was the in inverted commas the best ground that you ran the line on, or the most interesting, shall we say?
The most interesting, I suppose. I don't know. I enjoyed going to some of the smaller grounds. You know, in Halifax for one. At that time was good when they had the speedway track around the Shea.
Right.
And I remember I ran the line on the bottom side where the dugouts were, and it seemed as though you got about a 45-degree ascent to the opposite line. You know, it was a really steep place. Interesting at Old Trafford, of course, to run the line and not get any criticism at all, because you couldn't hear what anybody was saying because of the crowd noise, the general crowd noise, you know. So I suppose that was interesting. And then you get places like Frickley Colliery, where you go to in the cup and things like that, where there's half a dozen of them chasing you up and down the touchline, having a word in your ear, you know.
Just the women.
I wish. I think the most peculiar thing that happened to me was at Buxton in a preliminary round of the FA Cup, and they had a big clock behind one of the goals.
A big what? Sorry.
A big clock.
Sorry.
Behind one of the goals. It was about 3 foot in diameter, I suppose, and it was supposed to signify the 45 minutes as it went through the half, and it was fast. The away side got the equaliser with about 3 minutes to go. Unfortunately, the clock said we'd run over by 3 minutes, so it was a draw. We're coming off the pitch, and an old woman attacked me with an umbrella. So, playing the other side, scoring what she thought was overtime, you know. So you got all sorts of interesting places.
Wasn't Buxton one of the, isn't it the ground, one of the highest altitudes or something in Britain?
It's the highest.
It is the highest. I thought I heard that in the Crystal Peaks meet.
Yeah,
Nice.
I once played in a pre-season friendly and it snowed.
Yeah.
highest league football ground is West Brom.
Yeah,
that's right.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it always strikes me as being funny, that, yeah.
It's West Brom, yeah.
Yeah.
The Buxton ground is actually outside Buxton on the way to Ashbourne, which is a nice run if you ever have to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll move. We will move on to. Has anyone got a quiz available for us?
Do you want films or not?
Yeah.
Films will be marvelous.
Do you want a quick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I forgot that. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. No. If anyone's interested, they might not. But
Yeah.
Today, okay, if you've got Sky and you've got Sky Movies, then you've got Le Mans 66 on twice, either at 1:40 today or at 10 o'clock tonight. And I'm no big Formula One or motor racing fan, but I found this film and the book that it's based on, which is called Go Like Hell. I found this absolutely magnificent. It won 2 Oscars in 2019. It is the story of how Ford tried to build a car to take on Ferrari and win Le Mans 66. Matt Damon's in as Carroll Shelby, the designer of the car, and Christian Bale plays the brilliant British driver Ken Miles. The story is a magnificent and heroic story with brilliant action sequences. And I could watch this film anytime. I heartily recommend it. If you see it, it's a brilliant film. You don't have to be interested in motor racing. It's just a brilliant story.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon's excellent. I thought Christian Bale played Ken Miles very well.
Yeah, they're both really good actors.
Yeah, and then at the opposite end of the scale today, at 5 o'clock on Sky Comedy, is just a crazy film, which just tickles my sense of humour. It's Talladega Knights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, starring Will Ferrell. J.C. Riley and Sacha Baron Cohen. It is mad. It's a spoof on NASCAR motor racing in America. I can't stop laughing. It just tickles my particular sense of humour. But there's also some great action sequences in it, really scary. But it's a comedy and it's mad and it's well worth watching. The Longest Yard is on today. They're all on today. On Sky Comedy again at 10:30 tonight. It's the remake, if you remember, of Mean Machine, which had the great Burt Reynolds in it. It's worth a look. I don't find it quite as good as the original, but that's because of Burt Reynolds. But it is a pretty good remake with Adam Sandler as Paul Crewe, who's a prisoner, an ex-quarterback, and he has to put a team together to play the guards. And you can probably guess the rest. Yeah. But that's on Sky Comedy at 10:30. On Wednesday, sorry,
yes, they did another remake of that.
Yes, they did. With Vinnie Jones. With Vinnie Jones. What was it called? I can't remember. It's like a British version playing football. Yes, it was. But this one is an American football one. On tomorrow, there's two films I have not seen. So any feedback, if anyone does, I'd appreciate it. One is called Foxcatcher, which is on Sky Drama, 1:55 and also 10 o'clock. And it's about Olympic wrestling. It's a drama based on Olympic wrestling. And the other one is on Sky Premiere at 5 to 11 tomorrow morning or 9:45 at night. And it's called Born a Champion. It was only made this year. Stars Dennis Quaid, and it's about martial arts. It's a drama based on martial arts. I haven't seen either, but I'm just highlighting them if you want to. And finally, as they used to say, and finally, Caddyshack. I'm sure everybody will have seen it, but how funny and how daft is Caddyshack? It's on Sky Comedy. It's on at 3:40 on Friday in the afternoon or at 1:55 a.m. for those of you struggling to go to sleep. Is it the ultimate golf film? I don't know. It's just Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Harold Ramis, who went on to do Ghostbusters, of course. I love it. It's a silly film. They're the ones I found, guys.
Yeah, right.
Going back to Le Mans. Does Le Mans still take place?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
My son went last year.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, Paul. Yeah. I think in the 50s and 60s, from what I've read, it was probably the most dangerous sporting event in the world. There were probably more injuries, more death, more drama. It was horrendous. I hope that it's now a lot safer. I'm sure it is.
There was one particular year where one of the cars crashed into the crowd.
1955, wasn't it?
There were many spectators killed.
Yeah,
1955.
1950 what?
55.
55.
I think so, yeah.
Right. And of course, Ken Miles, who should have been given the trophy in '66, died the year after, or just about in the same year, in a car development accident in the desert.
Really?
Ken Miles was just a genius driver and car developer. That's what made him such a good driver. British guy, army, ex-army.
Yeah, they used to have the famous start where the driver ran across the track, didn't they?
Yeah.
They don't do that now.
No. It was, so
it's a great film. Great film.
Yeah.
Tremendous film.
Well, I think there used to be great excitement around the Le Mans 24, wasn't there? And it was, but it's now overshadowed by all the other F1.
I think you'll find it's still a pretty massive event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but it doesn't get the same publicity F1. I
No,
don't think.
it's always on live though.
Hmm.
It's always
How long's it on for?
24 hours. Strangely.
Another trick question.
Yeah. You can put it on and watch Caddyshack at the same time.
I don't know if it still is, Paul, but it used to be a pilgrimage for a lot of people. You know, you're either into it or you weren't.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you want to say anything for Paul before we run out of time, guys?
Oh,
Yeah. Right. Yes. For the ones of us who know Paul, do you want to start it off, Ian?
Yeah, I hope you're getting better, mate. I'm sorry to hear about your accident. In future, put more tonic in the gin. Do get better soon. We're all thinking of you. God bless.
Cheers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And from me, Paul, we need you back here. I think I need some help in our back garden once more, for you to come round and give me another helping hand. So get well soon, my old pal, and take care.
Yeah, Paul, very sorry to hear about your accident. I definitely need help as well, because when we have to cut the cake, when it's somebody's birthday, I always need your assistance. And we always hand out the cake together. So I need you to be there. The chocolate cake is still going down the best.
Yeah, that's true, Paul. The other Paul, the biscuit's getting far too much of your chocolate cake, and I'm missing your quiet, gentle humour and your common sense, which is sadly lacking amongst the rest of us. So keep going, mate, and love to see you soon.
Well said.
Yeah, get well soon, Paul. Looking forward to seeing you. Miss you tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all miss you, mate.
Yeah, we all miss you, Paul. We do enjoy your quiet style, telling us all about the ODIs and such. So get well soon.
Big Paul.
Soon, Paul.
All the very best.
Soon.
Yeah. Good luck, Paul.
Yeah.
Big Paul, miss you on all the calls and wish you a very speedy recovery. Get back as soon as you can. You're sorely missed.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. And right, we've only got we've just a minute now left to run. So thank you again for coming early this week. It will be back to normal next week. And
when Keith will be doing a medley of Doris Day's hits.
Yeah, give our regards to Doris and Elvis, will you?
Yeah, I'll be sounding like Elvis, and John will be sounding like Doris.
Sorry, I'm not there tomorrow. I'm on granddad duties.
Oh dear. Oh, you'll be missed.
Half-term holiday.
Half-term calls.
Good luck with that, Paul.
Yes, thank you. I'll need it.
You will.
So all the best, everybody, and we'll
see you next week.
And take care, everybody.
Yeah,
all the best. All the best, Big Paul.
All the best, all of you.
All the best, Big Paul.